Welcome back to DVR Club, the AV Club's TV recap show. I'm TV editor Erik Adams, and alongside me,
I'm Caitlin PenzeyMoog, and I'm a proud copy editor at the AV Club.
We're talking about part 2 of HBO's The Casual Vacancy, which is technically part 3 of the BBC's The Casual Vacancy. This thing has gone through so many tortured translations at this point. Caity and I are here to make it less confusing, which is why we're going to move right into top storylines to talk about the closing of Sweet Love House, the big cataclysmic event, I think, of part 3.
Miles, the deciding vote, if you please.
What bloody difference does it make?
There we have it. Plagford begins a new era.
J.K. Rowling's definitely making a statement.
Oh, I think so.
For sure.
All sorts of things happening behind closed doors. This entire thing is, I think, like a lot of her work, haunted by death and is all about absence and vacancy, as in the title. And the first chunk of this is defined by the absence of Barry. I think the second chunk is then exacerbated and amplified by the absence of Sweet Love House. Right. This thing is so tragic. Which brings us to our Potent Quotable, which I think puts a really good, it doesn't put too fine a point on it, but it really brings the themes of the whole thing together. All of these things are happening, and they're talking about whose fault it is, and no one wants to take the blame. And then, so Sukvander says, whose is it then? Because it's someone's fucking fault.
You did what anyone would have done. It's not your fault.
Whose is it then? Because it's someone's fucking fault.
Like, it's basically all of the adults' faults, and all of the adults didn't do anything to help Crystal because they, you know, shut down her mother's resources. She felt like she couldn't do anything, and then she drowned. We
were talking about the changes from the book to the TV show, and you mentioned that the characters are a lot more strongly drawn on the page than they are in this 3-hour mini-series. And it sort of occurs to me that in bringing it to TV, the miniseries really places this emphasis on this community and sort of making sure that, you know, all these people are guarding kind of the wrong things. They're guarding this image of Patchford when they should be thinking about the other people. Were there any other changes from book to screen that you wanted to bring up?
Yes, Erik, there was a very big change, which was the ending. In the ending of the book, Robbie falls into the river. The river sort of goes through the town center. So there's a bunch of people walking around, and that's what I said before. There's these adults walking by. I think Shirley walks by and Samantha. A couple other people walk by, and they see Robbie sort of playing on the river by himself. And they sort of notice him, but they're so like self-involved in their own petty problems that they're like, oh, whatever, it's just a kid. And then in the book, he actually drowns. And then when Crystal finds out, she runs home and she overdoses on her mom's heroin. And so she kills herself, and it's much more depressing. And in the show, like, you know, they sort of play this happy music over this montage, like everything's gonna be okay, really. Like somehow things are sorted out.
The kids are going to be fine.
But nothing's been sorted out. Yeah, they're not going to be fine. And in the book, that's very clear. Like, they're not okay.
I wanted to end things on an upper in a special segment we're calling What If It Was About Harry Potter?
What if?
What if? There's an absence of a savior within Patchford. And, you know, it just sort of ripples throughout this entire world. And it got me thinking about, you know, what would happen in the world of the Harry Potter novels if there was no Harry Potter. Obviously, Voldemort would swoop in and take over and destroy all of the Muggles and shut down shut down Sweet Love House, which could be Hogwarts. You know, this is all very well-researched symbolism, obviously. I'm not spinning my wheels at all.
Also, Dumbledore becomes a proprietor of a deli who's very self-involved because the man who plays Dumbledore in Harry Potter plays Howard in the show.
Yes, the second.
So that's very obvious. Obviously, you know, J.K. Rowling probably made that casting call and said, like, if Harry Potter's not born, Dumbledore just becomes like a horrible person.
So if we've learned anything from The Casual Vacancy, it's that you can't let the Harry Potter or the Barry Fairbrother in your life die. Make sure they stay alive, and you'll live a happy, fulfilling, satisfying, non-vacant life. This has been Erik Adams.
And Caitlin PenzeyMoog.
Saying farewell!